Okay, fellas, listen up, please. Listen up. Operation GAG starts today, so I want to see a very strong performance. What is it, all Markson? What's GAG? You know when you eat those pickled fish things? What's Operation GAG? Grindavik Academy Graduates. Yes, mate, you're a gag.
Synger samman till segerstroppen Maltan Grindavik. Och jag vet vattnen ger idag.
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Grindavik on The Impossible Dream. Today it is the Operation GAG. We send out Grindavik Academy Graduates. See what I did there? And hopefully we're going to get 2 wins. Obviously if we lose the first game here, then we will have to play another game, which I believe will be away to IA in the league. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Now there is not much that's happened since last episode. There's one game to catch you up on, but before that there's the World Cup this year, 2030. We've had some call-ups. And the players called up Bakali and Mosquera, who actually is not really been in our team, to be honest. He's he's not good enough, obviously. But yeah, 2 players going to the World Cup. And it's a big loss to lose Bakali for, the middle of our season. He will hopefully be back before we get sort of too far in European qualifiers. And we should be able to get by without him in the league anyway. But yeah, not ideal, but well done to those 2. Bakali, bring home the World Cup for me, mate. Now, there is one game I said to catch you up on. That was in the league against newly promoted Paul. So let's see how we did. We had a half-time lead after wingbacks Kidlin and Depe combined. Depe and Holt Dawson combined for Bakali to make it 2-0. Before Kedlick found Hal Dawson for our 3rd in stoppage time. So we persisted with this 5-3-2 formation with the wingbacks. I don't know how to describe it. We were good. I mean, you can see we didn't necessarily we had less possession. We were always in control of the game, it felt like, but we were scrappy, It didn't feel like we were particularly flowing yet. It's a new formation. It may take a little bit of time, but certainly we need to quicken up the pace a little bit here if we're going to be able to use this in Europe. So a good win. And if we look at what it means for the league table, early days, of course, but 3 from 3, goal difference of +10, and the only team still with a perfect record. So yeah, it's kind of as you would expect us to be. Let's be honest, in the league these days. But we are here for the kids, the academy kids in the cup. So let's go and see what we're doing here against Selfos. And this is it. We're expecting a 4-3-3 out of them. And the team that we're sending out, all academy kids. Now we're going with our backup, even though Rafasen could quite easily play. So Haflitzson is going to get the game. It's going to be Collar playing at left back. He's more than capable. We've got a decent centre-back pairing. Mortensen, who is, we expected him to be a good player for a long time, but someone we weren't necessarily expecting to be a good player was Hardartson, who is training on very, very nicely indeed. So 17 years old, he'll get the game there. Our right back is, I don't know how you pronounce the letters when they're stuck together like that, so let's go with Savasen. Again, another one we weren't necessarily expecting much of, but is training on very nicely. Ingvason, he will be the deep-lying playmaker for this one. We're going to have the 2 that have been the long stays of the team in Turpinson and Ormarkson. They're going to be running midfield for us, hopefully, in a very, very definitive way. Dagbjörnsson is going to be the right-sided winger. Over on the left is Henriksson. Again, another one of these guys that has promised a little bit for a while now, but we do need to start seeing it from him. And up front will be the undisputed star of the academy so far in Holdalson. So let's hope we can, with this team, get the result that we need. Alright, so we can see the team sheets there. You'll notice there's a few new names on the bench. We'll hopefully be able to give them some game time as we go here. We're in a good run. Alright, let's go with that. And yeah, I feel like this team should be good enough to go relatively deep into the cup. And, well, here we go. It's one of these, I think, where, I mean, if we have a bad day, if we come up against, a Breeder Blink or an IA, an FH, someone like that, that's, at the top of the league on a good day for them, then, maybe we do go out. But I'd like to think that this is helping. I think we've seen in the last 2 years that we've done Operation GAG here that we have progressed. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. I mean, this is a fairly strong side. We're going off to a cracking start here. Hall Dawson is in, and it is saved, is it, by the goalkeeper. Almost a perfect start. Turpitson, Olmarkson, Holdorsen would all be, and Mortensen as well. They're all first-team players. Ingvason is increasingly a first-team player as well. Koller has featured quite a bit for the first team. So, even Dagba Jartsen, I've brought him off the bench in Europe before. So there's certainly some good players in there as we lose out in midfield. And, just over the top. It's been a very, very open start to the game, but still 0-0. Savarsson now, throw in there for Ingvason. Loops up. It's Holdorsen almost taking advantage of some very static ball-watchy defending. Savarsson gets it forward. Turpinson goes down, but it breaks for Dagbajartsen. Somebody take him, please. I can't. It hurts my tongue. All right, Hansi Mortensen. A little bit of space in front of him. Oh, that's not the best pass he'll ever play, and the crossbar has come to our rescue. Hansi, if you just want to pay attention when you're passing the ball, please, mate. We are, of course, now post-update as well, so I don't know how that's going to affect tactics. And also, when I had the computer issue and everything got redone, I've lost a lot of my tactics and that, which I thought I'd backed up, but I hadn't. There's a good ball into the area for Holdorsen. Jesse just got a little bit too far. Dagbajartsen, it's there for Olmarkson. Back to Turpinson! It's a wonderful bendy placed finish for his second of the season. And we have taken the lead away to Selfoss in the cup with the Gags. And, that is very, very nice indeed. Olmarkson did well, didn't he? Ended up with his back to goal. Turpinson just bent it, placed it. And, he's an absolute star for this team, isn't he, Gary Turpinson? And he's given us a very, I'd say, well-deserved lead there. 72% possession. We definitely hold possession better in this formation. There is a part of me still that wonders if this is... Maybe we do need to play like this in Europe. We obviously have the option. The issue, I think, is wingers. We maybe don't have the quality of wingers. Is that unfair to say, to play like this in Europe? Thomason and... the Finnish guy that I signed on ridiculous money would be the two, and I'm just not sure. I think we're better off going with the two strikers, 3 centre-backs for protection, and sort of playing from there. But anyway, there's a good ball for Holdorsen, gets in, and he has number 12 of the season. It was a Turpinson assist, and it was a very, very well-taken goal to make it 2-0. So the Gags are looking very, very nice here indeed. Turpinson just picks out the run. Holdorsen just camping out on the last man's shoulder, and a nice little quick feet there as well to give himself a little bit of space. And we don't need to see if it's offside because it's a goal and there's no VAR to check. Savarsson, it's there for Ingvason. Ball in, headed away. We should pick it up though. Darson tracking back, gets it. Plays a nice ball forward into the box. Dagbajartsen to the back post. It's headed away. Koller keeps it alive. Olmarkson on the chest. Oh, you can see what we were trying to do there. Just didn't quite work. And here comes Selfoss the other way. But Holdorsen wins it back nicely. Can he? Oh, it's going to be a cracker if he can do it. But it's straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Trying his best Gary Turpinson impression there with a placed curler. But couldn't quite do anything other than hit the goalkeeper in the chest. And off the line, the header there, missed who it was by. But either way, that is not going to count as a goal. We'll keep praising. We've got a corner. Turpinson to take. Can we find a big defender's head? No, it's headed away. Olmarkson. Olmarkson coming forward. Olmarkson, it is cleared for Koller. Mortensen to Ingvason. It's a good ball out there to find Koller in space. There were 2 men marking Holdorsen. And couldn't quite beat 2 of them in the air, unfortunately. But we're keeping on some very, very good pressure here. And if we can get a third before half-time, I might feel confident enough to start and make a few subs with these young kids we've got on the bench. Oh, Markson! Oh, how has that stayed out? And, well, here they go again. Coming forward. There's not much support for them in the box as of yet. It is getting forward now. Turpinson wins it back and then loses it. And can we get this clear? It doesn't look like we can just now. Oh, I thought it was a loose pass. a bit of a Mortensen there, but no, it's claimed by the goalkeeper, and that will be that. I think there's a cat trying to get out of the room. As I've said before, I'm recording in the sort of our bedroom right now, and this is where the cats like to live. So there will almost certainly be more cat interventions in the new recording area, but unfortunately I've closed the door to keep the noise from the children out, and there's now a cat scratching to try and get out. So we'll say don't get complacent, and I will be back momentarily. Alright, here we go. 2-0 up. Like I say, a third goal. We've got some good youngsters on the bench I would like to give game time to. That's the whole point of this, obviously, is to try and make sure we're developing good players. This guy here could be very, very good. He came through the academy. Was it last season or the season before? I can't quite remember now. And then we've got a couple of others that are potentially sort of 3.5, 4-star players, which at this point are, are very, very good players. Hold Dawson into the area for Dagbajat, and goalkeeper makes the save. Because that's the thing, it's easy to forget, as we get better. I mean, Turpitson, I think, is a 3-star player. Yeah, current ability 2.5, 3-star player. So someone who's potentially a 3.5-star player, it's still a very, very good player, even if they're not going to quite be world class for us. So let's go and make some subs here. Have a look who we've got. We've got a centre back here who is not really going to make it, so we're not too concerned about him. A right back. I'm okay with Savason there. Now, I wouldn't mind giving him some game time. He can tackle. He can't really pass, which is the downfall on his game, but we'll bring him on for Invason. Gudmundsson is decent enough, isn't he? Then we've got Hollis Josephson. I wouldn't mind giving him a game, actually. There's potential there. Henriksen hasn't really been involved, and Stig Trayson, we've already seen him before. And speak of a cat intervention, Mortimus is here. So let's just leave it maybe at the 2. Yeah, let's leave it at the 2 for now. And we will confirm those and get back out there. And yeah, see if they can do anything for us. It'll be 2 debutants. I don't believe either of these guys have played even in the League Cup thing in pre-season. So it is actual debuts, not just YouTube. And let's see what we can do. Hadarsson gets it forward. Oh, it's a terrible piece of defending, and it's off the crossbar. That crossbar has saved one from both teams now. And let's see what we can do in terms of a third. Doesn't look like it's going to be much. But the important thing here is that away from home, the kids have gone out there and they've got to win. They're going into the next round, so the second episode game will be the next round. We don't know who we've got as of yet. We'll find that out momentarily, but that's really, really good. I'm pleased with that. Away from home against the team that I think they got relegated last season, didn't they? But they're certainly recently of the top flight. That's very promising indeed. So we win in the Cup third round. There is confirmation of the 2 debutants. Henriksen, yeah, just a little bit disappointing, wasn't he there? Not really involved. Wonderful goal and an assist from Turpitson. He is definitely the leader of the Gags, isn't he? So that is excellent to see. We don't know who the next round is up against yet because the rounds sort of get played out through a couple of weeks. But we'll be back for the 4th round, whoever that may be against. Okay, welcome back. Now, I can tell you we are playing poor in the second game here, so that's something to look forward to, but a little bit to catch you up on. There's been 3 games, so we've got to catch you up on those, but a little bit of time as well. We're at June 18th in-game, which means the transfer window in Europe is opened. Now, we did get a bid for Hal Dawson. He was okay in the end, but we rejected it, so I offered him a new contract, and $5,000 a week, an important player. Now, it's only initially for 2 years, but the absolute killer is here. Optional contract extension, I can tell you it will be activated, of 3 years. So we've essentially tied him down for 5 years, which is huge, and no release fee there as well. So that is, yeah, absolutely huge news for the team and the series moving forward. And also, we have had the European update. Now, the Champions League, which you believe was won by Borussia Dortmund. Now, remember they got beaten 9-1 or something by Real Madrid. Went on and won the whole thing, so good luck to them. The Pepsi League has moved up 6 places to 51st. Now, if you look at, we're not going to go into it because it's a bit difficult to read, but we're sort of jammed between the Swiss and the Czech second division right now. So, still a long way to go, but we are moving up there. We have moved up 21 places. We are now 66th in the European club rankings, so that is obviously good for us. You know, we're getting up to the point now where we should be getting seeded higher and higher in draws. Now, I know this was a thing, but there's extra Champions League spots for England and France as the top 2 teams in the coefficients. Like I say, I didn't realise that was a thing, but here we are. And the other thing to catch you up on is that our facilities have been upgraded, training facilities, so that now means that we have state-of-the-art training facilities. Now, the youth facilities, it's not actually letting me update them. Now, I don't know why I don't know why that is. It just seems to be something that we're not able to do. So I'll keep asking and whatnot. But yeah, the actual training facilities for the first team are now state of the art. But before we go any further and catch you up, we do have the Champions League qualifying draw. So you can see here we have been seeded. Now it dawns on me that this is going to be one of those drawn out things with music playing. So let's just skip ahead and see how the draw plays out. And we have been drawn against Al-Shakirk. Now, is that Armenian? I want to say, so that will be our first qualifying tie. They are indeed Armenian. They're a professional team, so we'll see what we get when we get to them. You'd like to think we'll be able to beat an Armenian side, wouldn't you? So yeah, that is that. Now, there are, as I said, 3 games to catch you up on from the league. The first of those was against IA, so let's go see how that went. The ball fell at Gadini's feet to give us a first-minute lead. But AI pulled level in the second half. So we missed so many chances in this one. It was unbelievable. Cadillac ended up taking him off. He was just missing sitter after sitter after sitter. It didn't change anything. And in the end, away from home, you could say, you know, at least we got a point, I suppose. But we 63% possession. It should have been 3 or 4-1, to be honest. It really should have. The next game to catch you up on in the league was against KA. Ormarkson played in Holt Dawson to put us ahead. Ormarkson was again the provider for Gadini to make it 2-0. Before Gadini turned creator for Holt Dawson's second. And the same two combined for Holt Dawson's hat-trick. Immonen's first for the club made it 5-0. And Gadini found Ormarkson to make it 6-0 at half-time. Before KA pulled one back in the second half. So we were without Cadillac and Bakali in this one for international duty, and you would not have known. It was an absolute masterclass. Ormarkson, Gadini, and Hull Dawson there. You know, I don't know why Ormarkson didn't play 10 himself, to be honest. It was really just a puppet show in that first half. We were pulling strings left, right and centre and ripped them to shreds. Second half we did make, I think I made 4 or 5 changes, brought some youngsters on, and we never really, you know, you can see from the XG tracker, we never really looked like we were going to score again, to be honest, which was disappointing. But, you know, we already had the points in the bag. Final game to catch you up on was against the struggling Vikinger. Kidland found Ormarkson unmarked to give us a lead. Kedlick squared it for Gadini to get our second. And the same two combined to make it 3-0. Vikinger pulled one back. But Kedlak restored our 3-goal lead before half-time. And Kidland picked out Gadini to complete his hat-trick. So we were just far too good for them. They really are a struggling team this year, which is, I'm not quite sure what's happened to them. But anyway, yeah, we gave Gal a game at the back there. Cadillac was back. Good to see him on the score sheet. It was actually his first league goal for us. So he had got some in cup games beforehand. But yeah, a little bit disappointing the start that he's made, but got things underway there. So if we have a look at what that meant for the league table. Obviously, we can no longer be perfect. We are still unbeaten, though, which is good. AI a second, and I suspect they may stay there. Look at Breederblink, struggling down there in 10th as well. So, yeah, interesting times. But we face Paul right now, who are 8th in the league. We did beat them in the league not that long ago. We saw that, of course, right at the start of the episode, that game in the league. So, let's see what the kids can do against them. And we are expecting a 4-4-2. From them in this game. The team we're sending out, we're going to go with Rafferson in goal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the backup goalkeeper a game in the league. Obviously, having a bad performance in the league for me goalkeeper is a little bit more forgiving than in the cup. So we'll go with Rafferson for this one. Koller, Mortensen, Hardartsen and Severson are in the back four. Ingvarsson, Turpitsen and Ormarkson in midfield. Degbojartsen, Thomason, who is not a club-trained player. Hendrickson needs to go out there. Thomason needs to go off the bench altogether. And we will bring on... Who did I see down here I was always going to put on the bench anyway? Not you. It was this guy, I think. Yeah, this guy. Jofferson, who played in the last game, he's actually injured himself. So that's why he can't play in this one. So yeah, Dagbojarsen, Hendrickson and Holdorsen. With his new contract in his back pocket, he'll go up top. Alright, so we can see the team sheets there. I don't reckon. Look at everything. Not quite every name with the double S son. I don't know why it's a double S son and not like a Park Jun-sun, like a 1S son. I mean, it must be the sort of the naming tradition, but yeah, I just wonder why that is. Good run. Shall we keep that going? All right, we can get on board with that. Mortensen is looking aggressive, as he usually is, so there's nothing wrong with that, unless he gets sent off, in which case we'll be a little bit annoyed. All right, and here we go. Yeah, as I say, with the window being open, we have received some bids. We've so far kept everybody happy. The Hordorsen one, he was from Marseille, and he said he was going to be unhappy with that if he couldn't go, but we ended up talking him around. Jose Antonio is another one that's had some bids come in, actually from Leeds, which, given that they're a parent club, I was going to accept for sort of £1 million and a 50% sell-on, especially get him in the Premier League if he moves on, inflated fees and whatnot, but yeah, that didn't quite happen either. Leeds didn't want to pay that much, which was the problem there. But Antonio was okay with staying. So yeah, there's a couple of other bids that are just sort of nonsense bids that were never really going to lead to anything. But so far, so good. We do, of course, have our own transfer window opening up. It's July 1st, I think, for us. Good header there from Collar. So I do think we're a midfielder short, and that's been a little bit sort of further exposed. This is some nice football. Is it a penalty? It is. Turpinson was a little bit in behind there, and a bit of a shove in the back. Who's going to take the penalty? Is it Haldorsen, I would imagine? It is. Oh, Dagbajatsen. No idea if he can take a penalty. He's given us a lead, and that is very, very nicely done. Yeah, I do think we're a midfielder short, and with Bakali away at the World Cup. Now, Australia did lose their first game of that World Cup 4-0 to Germany, which brought back horrible South African memories for me. So I suspect Australia's stay may not be too long. Turpinson over a free kick. He's good at them. Oh, I thought that was going in top corner. But the goalkeeper was there. And the other man at the World Cup, of course, is one of the defenders who we haven't really seen or used as of yet. He Ecuadorian, and they lost their first game 6-1 to France. So we might be getting our two guys back rather quickly. Haldorsen squares it back for Turpinson. Oh, goalkeeper almost walked that into his own net. Yeah, and then Cadillac, Czech Republic won at... Is it still Czech Republic, or is it Czechia now? And I've mispronounced Czechia almost certainly, but I thought they changed it, but it still seems to be Czech Republic. I don't know if that's sort of like the English... They're just not going to change the way that we pronounce their country's name, but yeah, anyway, there's a tangent for you to go off on. And yeah, so anyway, they won at the World Cup. He was just off for one game, and Olmarksen, what a finish from Damien Olmarksen. He's getting lots and lots of goals this season. He was sort of a scorer of great goals rather than a great goal scorer, I'd say, before this season. But putting him up there in that number 10 role, and he's had to do it because Bakali's not with us. But look at that, first time, that is absolutely stunning. And he is looking every bit a capable backup for Olmarksen. He is Olmarksen, for Bakali. I still do think, though, we are a midfielder short. So we'll try and address that, I think, in the January, or it's not our January window, you know what I mean, the mid-season window. Haldorsen draws a save from the goalkeeper. Ingvason goes back there to Hadartsen. It does make you wonder, now we haven't really played any big team yet, and obviously we're not through this one yet, but it does make you wonder, are the academy kids in a position to be able to go and challenge for the cup this year? Dagbajatsen looking for his second, draws a good save. And certainly on the what we've seen this episode, the future looks bright, doesn't it? Now there's a few sort of elder statesmen here. Turpinson and Olmarksen have been around for a long time now. Considering they came in at 16, I would imagine, maybe 15. I think Turpinson's 23 now and Olmarksen's 22, or vice versa. So they've been around 5 or 6 years. Hendrickson has twisted and turned and sent it into the fans behind the goal. But a lot of these other guys are sort of still the right side of 20. How old's Hansi Mortensen now? He's still young too, isn't he? Yeah, 19. So there's a lot of 18, 19-year-olds in the team that still, obviously, I mean, even Turpinson and Olmarksen have room to improve. So, yeah, it's looking as though the bring players through side of things is going well for us, and that is obviously important given that we can only register, and I know I go on about it a lot, but we can only register so many players in the league. So if we have a team of just academy players that we can trust to go and win most games, then obviously we can put in one or two others. But know that we have a team that can win the league, and then really focus on Hendrickson. That's maybe a little lungy, mate. But anyway, yeah, and that's obviously going to be good for making sure that we're winning the league. Half Paulson now, of course, he was formerly our player. Had really high hopes when I signed him. He just, if I remember correctly, he was a solid defensive left back, but he really did struggle getting forward. But yeah, good to see somebody has left us, and starting lineup for another Premier or Pepsi League team. That is obviously a very good thing. You may have noticed that I didn't have the name fix. I had to reinstall that, so that hopefully it's fixed everything. I can't remember. Oh, Hal Dawson makes it 3-0, and that should just about be that. And given that we have games coming up in the league, I think we might need to rest the likes of Allmarkson, who, look at that, that's even better from behind goal. It's actually a stunning finish. He's bent it around the goalkeeper almost. Yeah, so we might need to rest Allmarkson here. Let's bring on Lubasic. Yeah, let's bring him on. And maybe, do we bring on this other guy for a first team appearance? Let's do that. And Ingvason might need to play as well, so we've got this other kid that's just come through recently, so we'll stick him on as well. And that was almost another one. But yeah, we'll see how we go in this Champions League this year. I think we should rightly be able to say that we expect to qualify at this point. The issue is, I think, going to be like that playoff round. If you sort of get a bit of a nasty draw there, then that could go a little bit wrong for us. But I think worst case scenario, we can probably expect to be Europa League group stage or league stage. And you do wonder, if we were to go into the Europa League, are we in a position where we could maybe even go and win that? We're probably in Rixen, not quite. We're probably not quite there yet. We saw last FM when we did this with Queen of the South, we actually did go and win the Europa League, and we had a really good young team at the time, and then we ended up using it as a springboard to start really challenging in the Champions League. So I don't think we're quite yet at where we were with Queen of the South, but we've got the more money, which means we have better scouts, or more scouts who are better, and we're sort of able now to start and look to bring in players from all over the world rather than just sort of Iceland and sort of the northern Europe. So yeah, I think we're still a little ways away yet from really challenging, but that was close. If we get back to 3-1, even though there's not long to go, I would start to get a little bit nervous. But yeah, so I think we are in a good spot. We've got a little bit more money, an extra couple of million, I think it was, when the Champions League ended, with the TV money or whatever it is that gets left over and gets divided out. And of course, the higher our ranking goes, the more coefficient points we get, the higher we go up in that financial table thing, and that means we'll get more money from that. So I think the building blocks are definitely in place. I think we've found ourselves in a position where we can rightfully expect to win the league. We can rightfully expect to go very close, if not qualify, for the groups or league phase of the Champions League, as Hal Dawson goes close. So yeah, well, we're sort of cooking with gas here. As long as the computer stays good for me now, we'll be full throttle through the summer. But there we go. The kids have done it. They've got through 2 cup ties, and they've done it relatively comfortably in both of them. So very, very pleased with that. That looks really good for the future. So Grindavik, Hammer, Poor, and we win the 4th round. Pedersen, that was the kid we brought on. He's made his debut, so that's good. A good performance from Collar, which is always nice to see. And I don't know who we've got in the next round as of yet, but we will be back, obviously, and we'll keep following this run as far as it goes. But that will do it for today. You can see there we've got the quarterfinal right before the first leg of the Champions League returning. So that's a good place to come back. We've got a few games between now and then, so I'll go and play through those, and hopefully we'll get this done and dusted in the first leg, and then we can sort of just go ahead to the next one. So if you've enjoyed that, thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you as the kids take to the field again, the Gags, and European Champions League action returns. Take care.